wrote the song. Thoughts become action. Tell me what's happening. What's your mind wrapped in? Wrapped around, wrapped around, wrapped around.
Hi guys, welcome back to Click. This is Im, and here we have another video. Today we're talking about the GS6 Edge Plus. I wanted to do a quick, I guess, impressions or my opinion on the phone. I didn't want to do a whole review. There's so many out on YouTube. But I wanted to go over what kind of cases that I'm using for this phone, what I think of it, and some of the things that I don't like, as well as some of the things that I do like. I don't really get into the software too much as it can get way too long, but I will tell you what it is running and hopefully what we will be getting for it in the future. So let's get into it and see what we think about this phone. So here we have in front of me is the GS6 Edge Plus. And this here is a Rogers variant of the phone, and it's a 64 gig version, which is one of the rare ones here, and it's in what they called black sapphire, which is really I guess a bluey black color. And as you can see, one of the things that I don't like for it is that it is a fingerprint magnet, and this is the case with Samsung phones. It's one of the things that I guess we just need to deal with glass backs. It's something the iPhone had back in the iPhone 4 and something that Samsung has now, but I'd rather have this finish as opposed to the plastic that was of last year and the year before. So anyway, let's get back into it. So the things that I don't like, my biggest gripe with this particular phone is the fact that when I do set it down without any cases or anything like that, it's just very hard to pick up. Okay, it's really difficult to get underneath and picking it up, and if you're doing it every day, it can easily fall out of your hands or slip and fall off the table. So that's the reason why you see so many cases behind you. The case really helps the ease of use for this phone. It helps the ability to pick it up and put it down without having any issues. But that's my biggest gripe here. Other than that, this phone really is fantastic. It's got the same Exynos 7740 processor. It's got 4 gig of RAM, 5.7-inch QHD display. It's got a fantastic 16 megapixel camera running 4K video if you want. And it's got, on the bottom, you've got your typical ports, the speaker, and there we go. The speaker, your charging port, and your headphone jack. And on the top here we have your microphone and your SIM card tray. My apologies, I'm trying to get that to focus. Anyway, so it is running 5.1.1 Lollipop, and that is the Rogers version. Rogers is not as fast as Samsung to push the updates. I know that the update is out for Marshmallow for the unlocked version, but at the moment we're running Lollipop, and to be quite honest, I have no issues with it. It doesn't stutter. It doesn't have any gripes with the fingerprint scanner. The camera works fine. The battery is good. I'm easily getting a day, maybe a day and a half. I get between 3 to 4 hours screen on time. I think Marshmallow would really help with the doze feature, but at the moment I get between 3 and 4 hours screen on time, depending on usage. I do have my watch connected nowadays, so I do notice a bit of a hit for that. But the sound quality is fantastic. Front-facing speakers, the front-facing camera is great. It's a wide angle, just like the GS6 Edge. So really, very little in terms of my disappointments. Fantastic phone. Now, in terms of cases, what I've been using for this particular phone, and you can see behind you, there's quite an array. So I'll start from the right and work my way over. And I have here a Senna leather pouch, and pretty straightforward. I mean, it's just a simple pouch. Usually I may run a skin on the back, which you did see in one of my other videos, and I would just drop it in here and throw it in my pocket. Okay, and there we go. And this does help with, if it is in my pocket and it drops out, that at least the edges would be protected, from touching the surface in which it lands on. So it does the bare minimum, and it allows me to use the phone, without a case. So back here is another one of my favorites, and this is a Rinky Slim case. Again, very minimal in terms of protection, but this is what I like. I have one of these for almost every one of my phones, and I use these mostly on a daily basis because this allows me to have a little bit of protection, you know, whilst maintaining the design of the phone and, you know, getting the in-hand feel of what the actual phone was made and designed like. So, and you can see here, it's very, very minimal, very little, you know, in terms of protection for the screen, all your cutouts. And on the back here, it's, you know, the soft touch black. There are a few fingerprints. And it does pick up, but they easily wipe away with just a damp cloth. There is protection for your camera. On the GS6 Edge, there the camera does protrude quite a bit, but Rinky has, you know, accounted for that and given you quite enough protection in terms of a drop or fall on the back. Okay, so let me just get this off. Okay, let's move on to the next one. This by far is one of my favorite cases. It's the UAG, and this one I have here in the smoke or the ash color, I think is the official word. But this is my, I guess my gym case, or one that I use when I'm out and about in the outdoors, or washing my car or working outside. And this provides the most protection while still maintaining a pretty slim, you know, overall profile. So, you know, you got usual cutouts. There's no, you know, hindering for your ports and stuff. You've got your power button here, and on the back, obviously, there's your camera is recessed. Your volume button is good, and on the top here, your mic is open. Now, this really helps in terms of picking the phone up off the table, putting it down. The case really does help this phone, and for the in-hand use, you know, for daily usage. Now, this is a full protection case. It does allow you to, you know, use the phone on a daily without having any issues in terms of, you know, drop. You know, if you drop it, the protection is there. The screen is protected. I don't run any screen protectors on these, but when I'm out doing an activity where I have run the risk of the fall dropping, I put a case like this on. Okay, so the next one here is the Spigen Neo Hybrid. And this has a really cool carbon fiber pattern on the back. But to be quite honest, I mean, I don't use this case very much. It's not a case that I find very easy to install and use. I find it's cumbersome to get on and off. Like you can see here, it's catching the edges. Okay, there we go. It's a little tricky to get on. Once you get it on, it's okay. It's super slim. It does give you full protection. Okay. But when I'm looking for a full protection case, I go to my UAG. My UAG is my go-to case. I most likely will probably give this away to my dad in the coming few days and have him use this case for his GS6 Edge Plus. But again, all your ports are cut out. You've got your power, you've got your mic, your volume, and you've got protection for your camera in the back. But otherwise, it's a decent case. I just find it's difficult to take on and off, and I take my cases on and off on a daily. So, you know, and getting it put back on right is also tricky at times. So I don't tend to use it too often. And last but not least is the Rinky Slim, which is again one of my favorite cases, but this is the clear. And you're going to have to forgive me, I've got sweaty hands here and behind the lights. But I'll just throw it on and show you what it would look like once you clean it all up. You would need to clean this up before you put it on. You definitely not do it the way I'm doing it. But you can see all the fingerprint stuff. So if you wipe it down, you know, and throw this case on, you definitely would look fantastic. You know, this would especially look nice on a gold GS6 Edge Plus. But it looks great here too. And your typical cutouts are there. You know, your volume and your power are exposed. And your mic is there, open and ready to work. So those are the cases I use for this particular phone. Now, other than that, guys, my overall impressions are very positive with this device. The build is great, and you know, the software is much improved from the TouchWiz of last year. And you know, I'd recommend this to anyone as a daily. The screen size is good, the in-hand feel is good. It's not too big. Definitely a phone that I would recommend. As a matter of fact, this phone will probably be going to my dad in the coming days, and he'll be using it as a daily. He has a Galaxy S4, which is about time to retire, and this will be headed to his house for use. Now, I will probably give you some feedback in one of my other videos, just in regards to how different demographic uses a phone like this on a daily basis, and what his thoughts are in regards to, you know, a phone so fancy and so high tech for, you know, an older person and as a daily driver. Now he loves to take pictures, so I figured this would be great for him. It's got lots of storage and something that he would use. So anyways, guys, this is my impression of the GS6 Edge Plus. If you have questions, any comments, I'll be happy to answer them. Leave a comment down below. And again, please do subscribe. We thank you all for everyone who does watch our videos. And please pass the message on to anyone that you know who is interested in a phone and would like some input. Again, so this is Im. I'm out. Peace.